So you think you can handle my special interest? Let me tell you about the game that saved my childhood. Let me tell you about Neopets. When I was in third grade, I moved to Canada. I had no friends, I didn't know anybody, I didn't even know what kids liked. Truthfully, I didn't really have friends before then. Not that I could really remember. Alongside Pokemon, which I was not allowed to participate in at the time because my parents were weird about it, Neopets was the thing that was popular the day that I moved to that school. And this would change the course of my entire goddamn life. And also solidify the fact that I'm a furry. Sorry. So, what is Neopets? Neopets was popular in the early 2000s, really. It was bought out by several companies various times. It is aimed towards all ages, although originally it was not. Uh, it has a semi working economy. Semi working. There's a reason for that. Several mobile games and side games, with plans for a 3D, almost MMO like game in the future. The history of Neopets is full of ups and downs, unfortunately, and it was originally started in 1997, but it was only launched in 1999 as a way to earn money and to keep university students entertained. It then proceeded to goddamn explode in Christmas of 1999, and then they added premium in 2004 to, again, continue to help money. Viacom and Nick purchased Neopets in June of 2005, which I personally remember, and I think that's when a lot of people remember stuff kind of happening. The OG creators leave, and we don't hear from them again for a very, very, very long time. The site has a huge UI update from going from a old outdated sidebar to a nice kind of sleek top bar, and we stay with that site UI for a while. We even still see it to this day if you go to some of the older pages on the site. The Neocache Mall opens up in 2007. I personally remember hating the hell out of it, and no one saw the purpose, but it's it's premium currency. You pay real money for premium currency for items that don't really change the game. And then Jumpstart happened in 2014. And things are really bad for a really long time. Oh my god, that was a decade ago. Holy crap. Oh my god, that was a decade ago. But most of the OG staff got laid off, and things are really bad. Even once Jumpstart is bought out by NetDragon in 2017, and then the site starts getting new things, kind of. The death of Adobe Flash in 2020 kills more than half of the entire website, and it's still not totally fixed. It's a little better now that we have the Ruffle emulator, but some parts of the site are still completely just broken. The NFT project got launched in 2021, and then it got removed in 2023 because everybody hated that. Because Jumpstart also closed in June of 2023. In July of 2023, World of Neopets Incorporated is formed and purchases the site from NetDragon. They are the ones responsible for shutting down the NFT project, and as of today, things are on the rise. There's also a bunch of other games rather than just the site. Perhaps you saw these growing up, like The Darkest Fairy, which is actually oddly important to the lore of the entire website. The trading card game that used to be with Wizards of the Coast, and I think they're actually bringing it back. I think they're rebalancing it too. Pet Pet Adventures Wand of Wishing, one of my personal favorites. Wow, I've always really liked roguelites, haven't I? Huh. For the PlayStation Portable, there was also Puzzle Adventure for the DS, Wii, and PC that I guess was also somewhat plot important. Um, there was other things like Treasure Keepers on Facebook, which was made by the OG creators. Um, we also had the Ghoul Catchers mobile game, which I don't remember when that was. I personally liked it because it was like Match 3 Ghostbusters themed. Uh, we also have Fairy's Hope, which is currently offline and getting revamped to be re-released. We have the Pet Park browser game, which was essentially an MMO with a plot leading up to it. And I believe that was during Jumpstart, and then it got canceled because it was aimed at younger kids. But older kids were, yeah, it didn't, yeah, things happened. Things happened. We also had the P3 Habitarium, which was a browser game as well. It was just essentially like a little ant colony kind of thing. Um, we have Island Builder for mobile, which got renamed into Tales of Decardia, which is currently available. It's still kind of early on, but you can, like all the other mobile games, except for Fairy's Hope, I hope they, add in rewards for this. You can connect your Neopets account to your mobile game and get rewards. You get a lot of on-site rewards. There was also Key Quest, which was essentially Mario Party Candyland, but that was commissioned work and no one knew how to uphold it, and so the code slowly unraveled itself by accident. Oops. Site features. There's NeoMail and NeoBoards and guilds. So remember the old time forums? You want them? They're over there. They're still there. They're still very much alive and well. There's an economy, an in-game stock market that mildly works. You can have your own shop. There's trading posts and the auction house. I don't personally use them because it's overinflated. Browser games to earn currency. So, like old games that you could play, like, oh, what was the one I used to like? I used to like the ice cream dodging one. Ice Cream Machine? And it is now possible to play all the old Flash games with the Ruffle Flash emulator that is built into the website now. Pet customization, clothes and paintbrushes. You can paint these cute little guys into a bunch of different colors, like Kachik's come in almost every color now, and dress them up. And some of their clothes are really cute. If you want to learn HTML, Neopets is actually genuinely a great way to do it. It's how I originally learned back in like 4th grade. You can have custom pet sites with HTML and CSS and a crazy filter that you have to work around. There's also plot event lines, and I will get into that in a few minutes. A daily and weekly quest log, lots of freebies for casual players. I will get into that later. Several yearly events, including the Fairy Festival, the Neegg Festival, and the Outdoor Cup, which is currently going on, which is essentially just Neopets flavored sports ball? I don't know. And art and writing contests. Hold on. I said plot. I do mean plot. There's not nearly enough time to go over all of these, but they were great. Oh, they were great and had really mature themes for a kid's website. But I personally loved it as a kid because it didn't feel like we were being pandered to and talked down to. They included comics made in Flash, which is now really hard to find. I'll get to that in a sec. And they also include site events. Some of them had Battle Dome challengers, exclusive items, and trophies for your user lookup. If you want to continue reading the old comics, the best place to find these old comics in their entirety is Jelly Neo. What's Jelly Neo? I'll get into that in a little bit. An overview of the plot, right? We get Big Bad Evil Guy in 2000. We get the Battle Dome in 2000, so we can now do fights and stuff. The next year, we get the first Battle Dome use for plots. We get the desert in 2001, and then we do, 2 or 3 plots specifically in the desert back to back to back. The underwater, essentially, Atlantis is, gone. We get a medieval war plot. um, we get there's one puzzle plot where nobody dies. That's the most tame one of them all, I think. The green jelly plot didn't happen. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. The volcano mystery, which was kind of the last real like logic puzzle ish. Um, Battle for Meridel, which was another war plot, but a sequel to an earlier plot, which means we get sequels now. There is a Indiana Jones-esque character named Hannah, and she gets her own plot line. Had an unfortunate partial cancellation. Atlantis comes back with a vengeance. More Lost Desert plot. I think that's 5 now. The Darkest Fairy game for the PS2, which is a prequel to the Altador plot. The Wand of Wishing game, which is a prequel to the Pet Pet Adventure, which is a prequel to the Pet Pet Park plot and MMO. The Altador plot happens, and is the only one that is actually still regularly available. There's another puzzle plot that I tried figuring it out. I didn't personally understand any of it. That introduced Shenku, which is, Asian culture area. The Neovia area, which is like, ancient Victorian time? And it was the last plot that had a trading card game extension. Journey to the Lost Isle, which was the shortest one so far as like a real site event, was never continued and truly did not actually have an ending. It was left so open-ended, it felt like it needed to be continued, and just nothing happened. Big Bad Evil Guy Returns was supposed to be 4 years earlier. Pet Pet Park, which is the prequel to the MMO Pet Pet Park. It's very confusing. Puzzle Adventure, which tied in the Asian area plot and the volcano mystery from like 2003. Didn't make a whole lot of sense. There was a Leapfrog game for kids, which is apparently canonical, I guess. The Atlas of Ancients introduced the first Neocache plot, which is just like, oh, here's some extra items. If you pay real money, you can get, like, really cool limited edition items, and I truly do not enjoy it. Fairyland, which was sitting in the sky, plummets to the goddamn ground, and, I remember taking part in that one, and I kind of have to agree. Uh, there's a lot of plot. Pirate Island disappears and then gets revamped. A war plot that did not really do anything other than fighting, but it's now like kind of like an every so often kind of thing. You can go back and like fight again. The Spooky Food Eating Contest introduced another new daily, and it totally wasn't supernatural. It's totally not just Sam and Dean. The random event system gets updated with another plotline by a dude floating in a space station, controlling random events and actively causing chaos to keep the balance of the worlds in check? I don't know. There's another desert plot, which makes, I think, like 6. The Wrath Resurgence, which is a loose sequel to Fairies Ruined, Fairyland Falling, the Altador plot, and the Darkest Fairy. There's another goddamn desert plot. There's a sequel to that, which was a mobile game, Legends and Letters, which no one remembers because it barely lasted a year. And then there's some other things like Sacrificers and some other like side plot things that are specifically done with staff. So, where can you see all of these? I specifically mentioned earlier there is a site called Jelly Neo. Jelly Neo has a great history area. Jelly Neo is one of the many Neopets fan sites. What is special about Jelly Neo specifically, however, is not only do they have an item database, but they also have something called the Book of Ages, which is where a lot of Neopets history has been stored. And this is where I got a lot of my things from. We have the Altador Cup, which is currently going on. It's just sports ball. It's just sports ball. We have Daily Dare, which is another yearly event, Festival of Neegs. We have the event calendar, which that one is very clear what that one is. But there are a lot of things that I didn't even mention, and you can go in depth. For example, this one is one of my favorites. You can read in a complete overview, participation, exactly what happened, what the prizes were, the trophies, and you can see the original plot. And it's been completely re-updated so it all works exactly like it used to. That's pretty awesome. And thank you to Jelly Neo for doing that, because I would have been really upset if I couldn't reread these comics over and over again. Another Neopets site, well, fan site, is Sunny Neo. Sunny Neo is the one that I personally use for all of my dailies and my plot stuff. Uh, and what are dailies? Dailies are daily things that you can do, or, whenever. Certain things are timed events. But where can you do all of these things? On Neopets itself. And we'll get to that in a second, but before that, before we dive into Neopets, we're going to start with Neopass. Neopass is the new way to connect all of your accounts to neopets.com. Easy way to set your main account and then all of your side accounts and jump between them. You probably have already converted your account anyways, but I thought this was worth mentioning because, man, this is history. I used to crave something like this. It was so annoying to remember all those passwords. But it also helps you link your account to games, such as Tales of Decardia, which linking your account to a lot of these games can get you on-site rewards for your main account. It's such an easy way to earn money on this site, and you will need a lot of money. But that's okay, because the current Neopets team is dedicated to destroying the economy and capitalism, it seems. It has never been easier. Straight up, it has never been easier to earn a metric ton of in-game currency. All you have to do is a daily quest. Your daily quests can be completely randomized with a bunch of different items as rewards for just doing these things. You click claim reward, and you get your thing. And it checks off a little box here. You do all of them, you get 20,000 Neo points a day. It's that easy. Of course, it resets at midnight, Neopet Standard Time, which is just Eastern American time. Do all of them every day for a week, and eventually you get a super crazy rare item, which, if you don't like the item that's shown here, you can cycle it by just not doing your quests, or just not finishing it. And then it will cycle until you get something that you like. Of course, there is also the quest log for newbies, which I can't show off because I've already done all of those. But you can get some just actual Neocash items from those, from doing like these quest logs to introduce you to the site. Now you may be asking, okay, well, that's all well and good, but what else is there to do? Well, there is a games room full of games that you can now play with the Ruffle Flash emulator. Because of the death of Flash, a lot of games were inaccessible until the current Neopets team took over, installed Ruffle on the server, and now all of those games are back! Although some of them got remade regardless, which is kind of nice. There's also an entire world to explore, and I mean an entire world to explore. This map rotates. There's a space station. You can actually just straight up go to the moon. You can go to the North Pole, which has 3 different layers. The prehistoric area has 2 different layers. You can even go inside the castle. There's so much to do everywhere. So much to explore. This place, honestly, this place hasn't changed all that much. And there's just a bunch of different shops you can buy stuff at. I will say, not all of these items are useful. Some of them have not aged well. And, well, that's okay. There's, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of different items. And you can see all your items in your inventory. I have a very full inventory. If you see things like the service pet vest, that has a special icon on it, which means it is wearable. Some other things, we also have books that you can read to your Neopets, as I showed off earlier with that ultimate genius thing. The coins, such as doubloon coins, can be used for training your pets. We've got, where's the other coin? There's the other coin. The Grundo Warehouse coin is part of a coin collection thing, because there's just a bunch of those as well. There's also on-site trading cards you can collect, with, I believe each one of them has their own art as well. Look. Very cute. You can make your own decks. You can also get pets for your pets, and then you can get pets for your pet's pet. A pet, if you will. I don't know anyone that actually still goes and looks for pets. But pets are very common. You can get morphing potions and paintbrushes to change how your pets look, and how their pets look as well. Grooming and toys items don't really do a whole lot other than keep your pet happy. It used to be if your pet was sad enough, whatever color they were, they could turn blue, and they could also turn gray. Gray is the color that just is like, oh, your pet is just clinically depressed all the time. There's other items like this, which are completely useless. I just have a rock. It's just a rock. It doesn't do anything else. And a lot of these have a bunch of different values. So if you really don't want like 3 of the leaded elemental vials that you've gotten from this current plot, you can sell them. They're worth a lot more than that, actually. That estimated value is that's what they originally priced it at when they started, Neopets, and when they released the item. And then everyone was like, oh, let's inflate the price or something. Back to the main site. Alright, so this is the first page you see usually when you enter into Neopets. It's all your pets with a scrolling bar so you can see all the other ones, because we're not limited to 4 pet slots anymore. We're not limited to 4 pet slots anymore. I got 6 on this account. And I have 6 on most of my other accounts. But it also shows you how much money you have, how much Neocash you have, which, it's fine if you have 0, it's just the stupid premium currency. You don't need it to have a good time. And it also shows you what the current event is. You also have an alert thing. Ignore the fact that it says Neopian Hospital, my pets are fine, I promise I do not hurt them. I promise I feed my pets. But this tells you like different alerts and when your different dailies, specifically Trudy, is available. It also shows, as again, the current event. It's not showing the current plot line, which is the Void Within, because the Void Within is going to be going on, from what we have been told, a decently long amount of time, so there's time to just rack up points on the side. But this is a current timed event, which is our yearly sports ball! Yeah, sports ball! I don't actually know how to play sports ball! I think it's a bit like, I think this is honestly a bit like lacrosse. I think it's just lacrosse. And everyone gets to pick like their team or whatever. Rue Island represent, we stay silly. And you get to, like, play against other teams that are controlled by whatever their computer player is. Oh, I'm not doing too good. That's fine. I never support Rue Island with the intention of winning. I never support them with the intention of winning, ever. I'm not good at sports ball, y'all. But what else can you do from this page in specifically? You can select your pet, see their species, color, gender, hit points, how hungry they are, what their mood is, and what overall level they are. And their little pet, like I've got Koshak here. This is also where you can really quickly hit the customize button, read them a book, feed them, play with them, equip them for battle. We'll get into that in a little bit. Heal them if they're like sick or they have low hit points, groom them, or take a photo, I guess? This is also where you can set your active pet. And if you click details, it takes you to your pet lookup, which I have customized mine to look like this. Like, this is, like, I have done this. I have done this. And also, if your pet has won any trophies, like specifically pet-specific trophies, like I have won 2 beauty contests with Charcoaly, which is just, an art contest. Hey, I drew my pet, please vote for me. You can also see them here. Boop. Now, you can set any pet to be your active. I have Charcoaly as my active because I'm hoping through random site events, his level will go up, and through my dailies, his level will go up. Why do I want his level to go up? Because I like the Battle Dome. I like the Battle Dome because I don't know why I like the Battle Dome. The Battle Dome has been revamped once, which is this newer version. It's a bit nicer, I think, because your abilities are more easily stated, and it just overall looks nicer. Abilities, occasionally you will find these little fairies in a bottle. You release them and they'll bless your pet. These blessings can accumulate into, like I have 18 air for whatever reason. And you can spend those to unlock abilities. You only get 1 ability for each level, though. And it goes up to like 500. And the 500 ones are very, very, very expensive. But also, like, that one's like Neopets Stampede or Summon the Monosiraptor. Oh, God, that's I think that was the villain from one of like the super early plots. I think that was like the first villain. Not Dr. Sloth, but the one after that. Some like evil mutated dinosaur thing. Oop, and I'm not in any active battles, but this is also where you can see your overall stats and your equipment list. Battling is just a great way to earn money and items and stuff, and there is an item and money cap, so you can't, like, do it all day, obviously. But the more you do it, the easier it is to kind of level up your pet. Or just take those items and sell them. I'll get to our shops in a little bit. And if I go over here, ready to fight. The difference is, if I, for example, select Dazella, Dazella is currently volunteering in the Neopian Hospital, which is, well, that's part of the plot right now. If your pet is sick or too hungry or does not have any hit points, you cannot fight. Unfortunately, having your Battle Dome pet as your active pet means that they tend to get sick from random site events sometimes. So let's go with something easy, like the Chia Clown. Sure. Go down here, hit battle. I should insert the Pokemon battle music, that'd be really funny. You hit fight, you select your items, bap, sure, that, set it on fire, bap, play some animations, some effects animations, back and forth. Tells you with flavor text what happened, and these are the elements and stuff of, like, the attacks, and, like, healing and all of that. I did 49 damage? Oh my god. This is a really easy fight, to be fair. So, a little overkill. Honestly, I don't know what these Battle Dome items actually have as stats. I have my current setup just for what people think you should have for the current plot battles, which are, instead of one battle, it is a battle and then a battle and then a battle, and you don't get a break in between. Like a wave. I think you can look up those kinds of things on a site like Jelly Neo, which has a item database. And look, oh, you have reached your plot. There's a limit for plot points? Huh. I haven't hit that yet. And, like, for example, because this was a really easy fight, I just earned money. I didn't earn any items. Huzzah! And that's the Battle Dome. That is one of the many games, I guess you can qualify this as a game, that you can play. Honestly, one of the ones that everyone just spams is Fashion Fever. You just kind of hit start, send score, wait, restart game, start game, send score, and you do it 3 times. And you get like 900 Neo points just from that alone. Moving on. Items. Where am I gonna get these items? Well, by the way, there's this thing called bookmarks. A lot of pages have this, so you can just have like a really quick way to jump to different areas of the site. For example, one of the ones I've bookmarked is the clothing store, so that way I can immediately look at all of this. Yay! And you can select items. Boop. And you can haggle with the storekeepers. Don't actually do this in real life. Don't actually haggle in real life. It does not work. This is not how actual shopping works. They will not sell it for lower. Don't do that, especially with artists and like other independent creators. Don't do that. This is actually considered very rude. I don't know why it's still in the website. And you can, make offers, and it's like, oh, to prove that you're not a bot, to slow the bots down, even though there's still bots that auto-buy things. Select the very barely visible Neopet on this screen. And it's like, oh, click. There we go. I cannot type because I am in VR while I'm presenting all of this. So, oh well. You do that, and most of the time it's like, oh, purchase items from Neopets shop. And you want to do those from actual shopkeepers, not from, like, user stores. Oh, wait, what's a user store? I forgot to mention this. Well, here it is. I don't have anything in my store right now because I haven't restocked in a hot minute, because I haven't been playing for a hot minute. Other things got in the way. But essentially, you can put things in your store, price them however you want, and publish it, and other users will come around searching the shop wizard for an item, and yours has the chance of appearing, and people tend to go for the lower prices of the items. Of course, some items sell for a lot, and you have like a little mini bank to just kind of hang out in here. And this is where you grab all this money, and then you deposit into your bank. Yes, we get bank accounts. Oh, as a side note, this is what the layout looked like when we transferred from the sidebar to the top bar. Some of the site still looks like this. Some of the site still looks like this. It's fine. It's just a little jarring sometimes if you don't expect it. But then you take that money and you put it in the bank. I swear he does not usually look this depressed. It's part of the plot. The plot is essentially depression. And then you get like a daily interest. You collect a bunch of it, you get like a certain amount per year. And oh, you're a Neopian millionaire. Yes. I've never done this as a child. It is so much easier. The site gives you money for existing. It's never been easier to hop into this game and like get all the secret lab map pieces or all the treasure maps or paintbrushes. Like, the game is quite literally giving away paintbrushes. It's giving away morphing potions. I got one last week that turns my pet into an aquatic Kachik, which just looks like a goldfish. It's amazing. It's just that easy now. So I've talked a lot about, like, the daily quests, the weekly quests thing and all of that, and the event and all of that. But what can you do every day on the site? Well, there's a set of dailies essentially, and I use Sunny Neo for mine. For the main reason of they're just all here. It's really easy to get free food, especially if you're just starting off through this. Trudy's Surprise, however, is the only one that Neopets themselves will notify you of every single day when it's ready to be spun again. You do it every day, you get 100k after a month. There are some things where it's like, oh, well, you could lose, and like you could lose some money doing some of this. All the time you spend on these are typically very minimal, but some things like deadly dice, which you can only play at very certain times, yeah, you can lose pet levels. That's what you bet instead of money for that one. And you'll notice that some of these other ones also say things like currently unavailable. Some of them are time-based, and so you have to wait till certain times of the day to do certain things. Like this one, for example, it is only asleep during 6 to 7 a.m., 2 to 3 p.m., and 10 to 11 p.m. Neopian Standard Time. Those are the only times you can go up and try to steal an item from this thing, and there's a chance that it'll awaken and blast your pets, or maybe awaken, look at you, and then just go back to sleep. But you could lose for some of them. Things like the Forgotten Shore are like maps where you have to collect all the pieces to actually go to the place and get the thing. The Forgotten Shore is very easy to get. People donate these map pieces all the time. They're super cheap in people's shops. That's the easiest one to get, truly. And then you have things like the Secret Lab map or the Pet Lab map, which you can only get the Pet Lab Ray if you already have the Secret Lab Ray. Those are a lot more expensive and require a lot more time and effort to get. But some things like the Secret Ninja Trading School, you can't actually get until you get your pet to a certain level. The Neo Lodge, you check all of your pets in there for a month, and you don't gotta worry about anything for them for a month, except for healing. Some of these quests suck. The Employment Agency is awful. The Braintree and the Esophager quests kinda suck. You have to do those two together. They kinda suck. Illison's Glade and Jorda's Bluff, you can only do one or the other that day, or they'll get mad at you if you do the other person's quest. They're kind of like angry exes. I don't know, the fairies are weird. They're kind of like angry exes, though. Yeah, that's my headcanon, I'm sticking with it. And then, if you're premium, you get the premium scratch cards and stuff. The wheels costs money to spin, but, some of them are pretty cheap. Like, the Wheel of Mediocrity is cheap, but you can double, if not triple, your money. The Wheel of Monotony takes 4 hours to spin, and if you tab off, it stops spinning. So that one's not great. Wheel of Misfortune is also pretty awful. The Wheel of Extravagance costs 100k to spin, but you could win something great or nothing at all. So some of these are more worth it than others. Some of them are puzzles, like the Mysterious Neg Cave. That's just a daily puzzle thing. It doesn't give great prizes. There's a crossword. Don't pull the lever of doom. Don't do it. That one's not worth it. That one I can say is not worth it. You get monthly freebies, daily freebies, like, you get a bunch of stuff. Eventually, you'll need to throw stuff in your safety deposit box, because you just have so much stuff. But if you're looking for free stuff, the secondhand shop is a great place to find, like, customization items that nobody else wants, or sometimes an NPC will just donate it. The Money Tree, I swear it doesn't usually look so depressed. That one has items that people also throw away, but because we're in a plot right now, if you can't participate in the plot, that is a great way to get plot items from the Battle Dome if you can't battle, because everyone's getting the same thing over and over again and just throwing it in there. And there's plenty to do daily. There is plenty to do daily. And doing all of this isn't even required. Just doing your daily quest for your quest log, that's enough to just get you a ton of money. It's, again, never been easier. Definitely not when I was a kid. Well, this is all well and good, but oh, I want to talk to people. Well, you can do that. You can have friends. For example, I have Marvin as one of my friends. One of my other friends was online earlier, too. There's the Community Central, there's an in game messaging thing, which, be aware, there are profanity filters and filters for other things. There's certain things you can't talk about, which this is a game that has a large child audience as well as a large adult audience. But there's a children element to this, so you can't. There's just. I don't know. Is it not obvious that there's things that you can't talk about? Which is kind of hilarious considering some of the plots literally have lines in the comics where I knew I should have killed you from that's the head on the ice caves one. Well, you want to talk to real people who have verified accounts that are, I believe you have to still be an adult to, go on to the Neo boards and stuff. Although I know a lot of kids lied about their ages just so that they could access this area, because it'd be nice to get help with some quests once in a while. Well, here you go. We have our current plot boards. We have the Neopets team messaging board where it's like, hey, we're just going to post an announcement here and nowhere else, just here. And it's like, oh, okay. Premium users get exclusive boards. I guess. I don't know. That's a selling point for some people. You can get help with quests because when you're on a fairy quest, you can't use the super shop wizard or anything. You can't use this regular shop wizard or anything. So you post your item and it's like, hey, can someone find this for me? And someone helps you out usually. You can talk about the stock market with people. You can stonks, I guess. You can talk about the different games like Tales of Decardia and Fairy's Hope, the Battle Dome. There's also NeoQuest and NeoQuest 2, which those are on-site games. They're really old, but they're really funny and really hard. There's New to Neopets, the experience and returning players. Guilds, which is usually used to advertise your guild, which is essentially just a Discord server, like a private forum thing, I guess. There's the role-playing board. We stay away from that one. Other things as well. There's trading. You can trade your Neocache items if you get, because there's a little bit of a gotcha mechanic to the Neocache stuff. You can buy capsules, and it has like a list of things it can get you. It's not a large list. It's a small list, so you're gonna get something that you probably want. You can trade pets. That's a big thing. Oh boy, it's kind of weird now. I used to do that. I don't do it a whole lot anymore. I just kind of zap pets and then give them to younger, newer players. And then you can talk about, well, your ideas for the website. I will admit, the boards are not somewhere I frequent anymore, as there has been a huge upsurge in people, well, trolling of God, and I really hope this post wasn't real. It was in the Void Within board where it was like, oh, my real life relationship is ending because my partner says that I care about a virtual pets game more than them. And they specified like they're of like every 6 hours they check the website to do the Neopets hospital volunteering thing, and then it's like, oh, well, you never spend any time, and it's like, this is a troll, right? Please let this be a troll, or you need some serious help. It's just a game. It's gonna be going on for 10 months. This event is going on for like 10 months. Please be chill. So I've talked a lot about the Void Within, right? So I should probably show you guys what it is. The Void Within plot. This started, a while ago, actually. Oh boy. A while ago. A while ago. We've gone through at least a few events. Back in 2003 it says it started. Just like the precursor to everything. And it's oh boy. Oh boy. And it's escalated. What you essentially have to do is there's 3 locations every single day where there are these little void essences on the map image. You click them, you move to the next one, and it will tell you when you've collected all of them for the day. The easiest way to find them, I truly believe, is through Sunny Neo. It just kind of lists them there and is like, oh well, and if you collect them all, you get points for the plot. Uh, I currently use the Sunny Neo guide for the entirety of everything, and it summarizes the whole thing too for those who have missed a lot. But essentially, people are being turned gray, and they're being attacked by these little voidling creatures. That just kind of spew like depressing phrases and stuff when you fight them in the battle dome. Oh, but I don't have a battle dome pet. That's fine. That's fine, because there is another element to this. You can help out at the hospital instead. And for 6 hours per shift, your Neopets that you volunteer for this will essentially earn you points and items. Great for if you only have one battle pet, or, if you have a lot of pets, or if you can't battle at all. Boop, boop. Of course, you can always fight. These are not easy fights, because it's consecutive battles one after the other. I showed this off earlier with the Chia Clown, but that's just one fight. Try doing that 4 or 5 times in a row, with no break and no healing in between. That's the hard part about this. But it is neat. And we do get rewarded. Fight fire with fire. Okay, that's interesting. Defeat a shade with dark damage. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I didn't purchase anything. Act 1 is currently over, and we're currently in Act 2, but there is still plenty of time to join and earn wonderful, wonderful rewards. The more you participate, the bigger, the better the shiny trophy you get for your user page. Because while pets have their own pages, users have their own pages as well. And through buying stuff, essentially, you can, well, I guess, unlock other achievements. Yeah, it is kind of an achievement system, isn't it? But as you can see, certain things cost more points than others. A gray Bunny morphing potion, however, is only 400 points, which is crazy because Bunnies are considered limited edition pets. Gray is considered a very valuable color, and they are essentially destroying whatever value that had. You can also get things like pet paintbrushes and wearable items. And I believe, if I go down here enough, huzzah! You can also get items such as the Space Fairy token, the Wand of the Dark Fairy, Grapes of Wrath. You get Battle Dome items, or exclusive plushies, or really, really rare books, and that kind of stuff. And stamps. Yeah, there's also a stamp collection. There's coin stamps, cards. Coin stamps, cards. I believe that's it. And then whatever else you want to collect for your gallery, which is your own personal collection thing. That's a whole other thing. I used to collect sand, personally. Sand, plushies, and pets. And that's just this plot. And of course, we do have a comic. You hover over it, or in my case, because I'm in VR, click on it. And some of the story will actually get you different rewards. Dr. Landelbrot's tools. Awesome. There is also usually a Neocache Mall aspect to some of this. Again, you don't need any of it. But there is something that is worth mentioning, and that is the extra pet slots. So, as you can see, I can only buy up to 5 extra pet slots. There's 1, 5, and 10 that you can buy. This costs real money, but you can increase how many pets you have on your account. And if you're a premium user, you can increase it up to 20, I believe. The styling studio that you can see right next to it, that's another fun, interesting thing that the new team has introduced. If I go over here, the styling chamber. This is where, if I go over to the styling studio, there we go. The styling studio essentially allows you to reconvert your pets. Back when we had the customization update, all of the pets got, honestly, kind of standardized poses and art, so that way it was easier to customize them. But by doing that, some of them lost really cute poses. For example, the Lutari, one of my personal favorites, used to just be a little floating guy. Just used to be a little floating guy. But some pets had the option to not be converted. Simply because they were painted an expensive color like Fairy, you could opt in to not converting them, which made them worth a ton on the pet trading market, which has essentially ruined that aspect of pet trading, and I'm pretty sure it's on purpose. Of course, this costs real-world money, which is why I'm not all that interested in it. Although, for, like, holidays and events and stuff, you do get, like, free Neocache every so often, which is kind of nice, to be honest. So you don't actually have to spend money. Another thing that a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into is customization. There's a site called Dress to Impress Neo, which allows you to preview stuff for, like, different pets and all of that, and, like, oh, like, this clothes and these clothes and, like, this item, and you don't get those items. It's just a way to preview stuff and maybe, like, set up, like, okay, this is ideally what I want this to look like. It's a really useful tool for brainstorming. But a thing that you can do is you can customize your pets. People love doing this. Sometimes you have to refresh it, sometimes it doesn't load properly, but you can go ahead, go in, click this, drag and drop, and there you go. Save, and it publishes it immediately. You'll notice that some of the items that Charcoaly was actually holding aren't showing up in here. There's been a bit of an issue with some items that I believe they're working on, where they just won't show up here, but they are actually holding them. Like the courtyard thing in front of him, or the pickaxe thing that he's supposed to be holding. It doesn't show up, but it is there. It is actually equipped. And there's usually a quest for doing this, pretty much most of the time. And some items can be animated. Like if I go here, this background is animated, but it also is partially a foreground. And some things are not able to be equipped by other characters. For example, there is a wheelchair asset that you can buy for your bipedal and then your quadrupedal pets. There's 2 separate ones because they're different body types. And if your pet is painted a certain color, like Mutant, or the aquatic one, or Baby, yes, there is the Baby paintbrush, you sometimes have to buy specific clothing items for them. And those can be a bit harder to find. But overall, like, it's not that difficult to get a whole bunch of this stuff. And obviously, you know, you can trade it to your other site accounts to customize your other pets as well. So I mentioned something earlier about Premium. Well, Premium was released a very long time ago, and it's essentially pay to have some extra features. You get more pet slots, exclusive collectibles, and I mean exclusive collectibles, exclusive dailies as well, access to special Neo boards, ad-free the Super Shop Wizard, which is just the Shop Wizard but way better, and I believe it finds the lowest item first. You get a weekly scratch card, monthly trading cards, extra gallery categories for your own personal collection stuff, a customization journal that tracks what you've changed for your pet over time, a yearly free species change for any of your pets, and other premium boons in the Battle Dome, along with a special Battle Dome category that has its own exclusive rewards. And it's cheaper than a VR chat subscription, to be honest. But I don't know. I personally have never paid for it. I don't know if it's worth it. That is entirely up to you. Again, this costs real world money. I haven't touched on it much, but there is, like, the other games, like the PS2 game, the PSP game, Tales of Descartes from the mobile right now. You can absolutely play those. I'm not covering them in this video, because those are kind of plot points. But also, because I don't have time, I don't want to open BlueStacks while I'm in VR. I don't really like opening BlueStacks, period. There is a way to play the Tales of Descartes game on BlueStacks. I'm telling you this because it's a lot easier to just do that for me. You'd have to look it up for yourself. I couldn't possibly begin to re-explain it. But doing that is also a really great way to make a lot of money and sometimes even earn exclusive items. Hopefully when Fairy's Hope comes back sometime in the future, you'll be able to do that as well. Now, of course, this game is what you make of it. I can't tell you the right or wrong way to play. It's up to everyone. Everyone has their own different goals. Like, I just got my childhood goal of getting the lab map, so I can zap pets that potentially have really bad names, or just need a boost because they're painted a really not great color, or have a great name, just need a home. And so I can trade them to newer players, and help people like I was helped when I was younger. It's really up to you. You want to talk and roleplay and have fun? Like, this is a great place to do it. Everything here, however, as long as it is on site, has to stay safe for work. And there are some weird filters that they have where they're like, you can't say that. And it's like, but why? And there's no reason. There's no reason at all. It's just the way it is. So it's got some weirdness, but it is good. And if you're looking for a game to, like, have your kid play online, this is honestly, it's still really good, like, even for kids. Kids media should not be bad. Kids media does not deserve to be bad. Kids deserve nice things too. That being said, if you're a kid, please do not add me. Anyone else, however, you're free to add me. Tori Floop is my username. You should know this by now. I just kind of hang out. I just kind of chill. I like Neopets. I like Neopets. I would love to draw more Neopets, and hey, my commissions are open, and if you want me to draw your Neopet, I would be more than happy to. I would be more than happy to draw people's Neopets for them. And Neopets, if you're seeing this, I'm not sponsored, but hey, do you want someone who is entirely too dedicated to your cause? Do you want someone who's entirely too dedicated to your cause? Part of the reason this all came up, though, is because they recently did a collaboration with G Fuel, and they also now have a merch store open. Well, I had a friend get me the G Fuel box with the funny little Slurpee cup. I'm sorry, slushy, not Slurpee. And their exclusive golden berry flavor, which does turn into the iconic Neopets logo color as well. I mean, Personally, I think it's a little dry. Doesn't the G Fuel power does not dissolve well. I'll stick with my advanced, thank you. But other than that, you know, I wish nothing but the best for Neopets and the community that they create. They're amazing. I believe there's also some Neopet fursuits out there, which are bonkers cute. Oh my god. That's so cute. Oh goodness. Oh, it should be illegal to be that cute. But yeah, if you're curious, it costs nothing to sign up, and you can always just ditch it later. But hey, maybe hit me up. And thank you guys for watching. Hi, thank you so much for watching. I do also want to say shout out and thank you to all of my Ko-fi supporters. If you want to support me, please check out my Ko-fi. That is where my membership is. I get 90% of the membership minus whatever PayPal takes. You also get exclusive access to an area in my Discord server, commissions with priority discounted slots, discounts on anything in my Ko-fi store, which is usually adoptables, and some other stuff, and access to my my projects, my work in progress, big work in progress, oh boy. Thank you so much. Without like your guys' support, I wouldn't be able to do this. You can tell this is a passion project. I love Neopets, and I love streaming, and I love just being a weird little goober on the internet. Oh, don't tell anyone I told my friends that I said goober. Oh boy, don't tell my friends that I said goober. But yeah, thank you guys so much. This is minorly edited, very minorly edited, as I'm not very good at doing editing. But if you want to check out more of just the stuff that I make, follow me on Ko-fi, join my Discord, check me out on Twitter or Blue Sky under Toryfloop, or check me out as my VTuber alt, which is Railty the Kameno Cat, who has a separate Twitter and Blue Sky account. Or check out literally any of my other videos, which would be awesome. Thank you guys so much. And I hope to make more of these again soon. Thank you so much.